just the back and forth momentum swap. That there's a big rock. Here comes Romero. But a pull counter.
There we go. We have a champion, ladies and gentlemen.
What's good, y'all? Romero 17 here. You guys absolutely delivered. I had asked for 25 likes if you guys wanted to see a renewed version of the UFC 4 video of how to use leg kicks, and you guys gave me 140 likes on the Jose Aldo video. I really appreciate that, and I'm going to have fun teaching you how to use leg kicks on UFC 5. Before we get to offense, we're going to be going on defense and what you have to be aware of when you're trying to use leg kicks on UFC 5. Now, obviously, at this point, we know L2 and R2 are how you block kicks. Calf kicks, it takes a little bit longer for a leg health event to get triggered. Usually, it takes around 4 to 6 successive calf kicks to be checked in a row in order for a leg health event to happen over time. The rear leg kick or lead leg kick, the powerful kick, the one that targets the thigh, 2 quick checks in succession can lead to a leg health event. So very important that you are aware of that. You can also evade those kicks using the lunge back, but not a lot of people use that. However, against the lead leg side kick or the rear leg side kick, you can use the lunge back, and your opponent can use that to set up some really good counters, or they can sidestep your kicks as well. So a mistake a lot of players make when they're trying to throw kicks in the pocket is, well, they're too close, and what ends up happening is you end up losing that trade. And if you get caught on one leg when you're trying to throw a kick, that is going to greatly increase your chances of getting knocked down. So now let's get to offense. So with the calf kicks, it's very important that you learn how to target these calf kicks, depending on where your opponent is circling. Now, you're still going to be able to do good damage, but as you notice here, when he's planted right in front of me, nothing really happens with regards to hit, stun, stagger. Here, when he's circling towards my lead leg and he's in motion, I will get this hit stun animation. If he stops, it won't happen. But this inside stagger animation can set up a lot of good follow-up shots. Generally, the cross is a good option. Here you get a heavier animation if you catch your opponent circling into your power side when you guys are both orthodox and you go and target the calf kick. When both players are on southpaw, same thing is going to apply here. McGregor is going to be circling to Dustin Poirier's power side, and we're just going to go ahead and rip ourselves the calf kick on that side. If he starts to circle towards our lead leg side, we're going to target, what are we going to do? Lead calf kick. Now, I know the next question is going to be, well, what happens if my opponent switches stances? Same thing's going to apply here, just different bit of targeting. So in this case right here, right, McGregor is orthodox. I am southpaw with Dustin Poirier. He's circling to my lead leg side. So we're going to be targeting with the lead leg, and you're going to notice that we're going to still get that nice staggered animation. Now, if he goes here, he's circling to my power leg side, we're going to get this animation instead. So, and it would be exactly the same if we flip-flop it and if it was Conor McGregor doing the kicking. So now we're going to get into using the oblique kicks effectively on the UFC 5. It's going to be the oblique kick or the lead leg side kick as they have it listed in game. Now, me personally, I prefer using both of these strikes planted. Going forward can concede a good amount of vulnerability. And if you time it planted, especially when it's against a shot that's going forward or it's a rounded shot going forward, you can trigger these type of health events. If you guys are in opposite stances, it still works pretty well. I will say that it can be a little bit risky depending on what's available. As you can see right there, we were able to avoid that overhand when we were in the same stance throwing the oblique kick, right? There is an evasive property that is built in with this oblique kick. Watch right here. Boom. We avoid it and we dodge it. An open stance, it might be a lot harder. So you can also use these lead leg side kicks when your opponent is spinning. You can interrupt spins, the body spin. You can also do it against the head. I like to use this to really demoralize somebody. Not only does it do a good amount of damage, but it causes a nice stagger. So whether you get the back of the knee stagger or you just trip them down onto the mat, you're going to get a nice little interruption. So against the headshot, this can be a little bit riskier for obvious reasons. Generally speaking, I will probably recommend, if you don't know where it's going, you're better off probably blocking it, right? But if you feel confident in your ability to time it and going into practice mode and utilizing the strike recording feature, you can just interrupt them when they're trying to spin with the lead leg side kick. Now, as you notice, it landed to the head. There, it did not land to the head. So it's just really, really timing based, and little fun things like that can happen. So play around with it, see how well it works for you. and have fun utilizing the lead leg sidekick. So now, much like the calf kick, the rear low kicks, the regular leg kicks, still have those properties where they can cause hit stun. Now they are a little bit slower because of the blending animation issue when the calf kicks were added, but fun little fact, if you land perfectly on the inside of the thigh, you can cause that animation to pop up where it takes your opponent out of their stance and it just whips it out to the side. They can't throw anything. While this animation is active, they are completely taken out of their stance, and if you follow up with a cross, more oftentimes than not, that cross is going to be free. Same thing can apply here, or obviously not that animation, but if they're circling towards my power leg side and I land a heavy rear low kick, what's going to end up happening is we're going to get that nice stagger. Now, this is the one I really like to use when they're stepping in deep with jabs or they're throwing in lead overhands, and I like to mix it up too with going backwards on the shot too to try to evade shots. So key thing, when I'm trying to land these low kicks, I want to land them either in combination. I want to land them when they're trying to move their head. That's really important for me, right? And also when their short-term stamina is recovering. And the reason for that is there is increased vulnerability when they're using head movement, as you can see right there. And if they're missing and they're whiffing on shots, their short-term stamina is low, which means that if you're chaining up all your defensive tactics like the back steps and head movement, is going to give a bigger window for you to land more damaging low kicks. So go into practice mode, mix up all of your defensive tactics, takes everything that you've learned from this video, and I want to see some nasty work from y'all using low kicks on UFC 5. Number 17, I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here.